My celebration today, this month, is really to just motivate Nigerians that better days are ahead. There is a future. Of course, we need to work for that future. We need to invest in that future. We need to contribute to that future. But to be able to do that, we need to be inspired of a vision of tomorrow. And I think that this birthday affords me the opportunity as a young Nigerian who Nigeria has treated very well. I've been able to get all the way to the Federal Executive Council before I turned 50. I think the least I can do is to give back to Nigeria. Yeah, every day I interact with ordinary Nigerians, and my attitude to them is positive. I encourage them that all hope is not lost. Building a nation is a very tough job. It's like, think about building a business, how difficult it is to develop the concept, to get the customers, to make the sales, to manage the staff. All those are moving parts. And for a country like Nigeria, with its diversity, with its level of education, with the level of awareness, and with the level of political knowledge, it's a very difficult country to build. Morning. A very difficult process to build a country. So what I do is that many young people can relate to me. I fall into some of them, for many years I was in public office, I was in their age bracket, so I can understand them. I deal with them every day, I mix with them, I exercise with them. So I know that what they see from me can reflect how they think about Nigeria, how they think about the society. And I've maintained a positive attitude. I think that my key message to everybody is that there is hope. This is where I grew up, and this is where I was born. My parents moved here in 1970. It was from here in the morning of Sunday, July 18th, my mother went off to Charity Maternity Home, where she had me in 1971.
When he was born, his birth was uneventful birth. And when he started to grow up, I can see, for me as a believer in God, I can see the hand of God in him, because anything he does was very perfect, and you will see that something is propelling him to do certain things, which whenever you see him being above his peers, one thing about him is that he likes to read. He's very inquisitive, he likes to ask questions, he likes to know things. Now that he's 50, I know that this is just the starting point of his career.
In 1979, we moved over to this place. This is number 20 Umuakum Street in Achara Layout. At that time, it was a very new development. So people were building up this 6 flats. It was the model then, 3-bedroom flats. We lived right here on this first floor. We lived here from 1979 till about 85 when we moved over to Lagos. I came into this school in 1976. I was here till 82 when I went off to secondary school. And it is again part of the decay in Nigeria, part of what has gone wrong with Nigeria. The school now has 4 primary schools in one location. The school had been refurbished. I remember being in elementary 1C. I went on to 2 and 3, and then went on to 4, 5, and then 6A. In 1982. From here I went off to secondary school. This was the classroom, the block where I started in my JS1. We were the first set that did the junior secondary school 1. We started it in 1982. This was my beginning, and I believe that I got quite a lot in these schools, in public schools. To imagine that public institutions have collapsed, to imagine that these students cannot have access to a newspaper, even if today that newspapers are now digital, that schools can afford to get students to read online. It is the sad marker of our life that we haven't progress as we ought to in the public space. In 1991, I came into this hostel, and it was a very beautiful hostel. It was very well maintained, very well kept. The building has given way. What we see here today is the need for the country to reinvent itself, the need for the country to rebuild itself, the need for our leaders to come down from their high horse and talk about the things that concern our next generation. Our next generation cannot be built in this type of environment. Our next generation, this is J200. This is where I used to live as the Igwe of Kennedy home at that time. So J200 was my room, and it was a room that people were very happy to live in. It was a room that people were proud to come to. But what we have today, looking at this hostel, looking at this, I can't imagine the quality of graduate lawyers that we're going to be producing from this environment. It is a very sad commentary of what our country has become. We are meeting my uncle, Venerable Ananenzelu. That's my mom's immediate younger brother. So all my secondary school, late secondary school days to university was spent in this house. This is where I started my children's Bible club. So when you hear me reciting those Bible passages in the church, singing along the books of the Bible, was all learnt here. We started our day here with the morning prayer, which was mandatory. So by 5 o'clock every morning we are up, and we will read the Bible in Igbo. We will read the Bible, we will pray, and very importantly, my philosophy about life, my early formative years, my Christian ethos and my belief system was molded here. We had our first interaction with the Children's Bible Club, which the wife was the pioneer. If you grew up in Enugu, everybody knew her on TV every Sunday. Umaka kweserema, umaka kweserema, umaka kweserema, umaka kweserema, onye Jesus bu, onye Jesus bu, onye Jesus bu, onye Jesus bu. It was a popular tune on TV every Sunday from Mrs. Ijoma Nzelu. So it was from here I finished from university and then moved on to Abuja, where I did my youth service, and life continued in Abuja. So this was more or less a place where most of my early life, young adult life, was formed, and I benefited a lot living with them. Every holidays I went back to my parents in Lagos, but during the school sessions I spent it here and was greatly enriched doing that. We have a major challenge with what I call civic awareness. So I think that it's something the whole society has to be involved in. The young people today feel disillusioned. They feel disconnected with the country. They feel disconnected with the institutions of the country. They feel that everything that is done in the country is geared towards personal advantage. So you have a police station where you go to and you have to buy your own pen, you have to buy your own materials. If you are detained, you have to feed yourself. The government cannot afford to feed you at the police station. So we have a situation where for you to get bail, you have to pay for it. Even the court system now is under attack. People believe that justice can be bought. So at the end of the day, what makes you survive? What makes you work? If you live in your house, you provide your own borehole, you buy your own generator, you send your child to private schools, you use private transportation, the public transport system is collapsed. So at the end of the day, you find out that everybody now is thinking of how they can fortify themselves financially to be able to meet their daily obligations. even those things that government ought to be doing for us, we find a situation where we are doing it, for ourselves. One of the significant moments of Nigeria, and the thing I like to talk about, the possibilities of Nigeria, is the fact that 9 years after a civil war, we had an Igbo man from the war-torn area, from the secessionist part of Nigeria, as the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We had the NPP-MPN Accord that brought an Igbo man as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. So I believe very firmly that what we have seen in the past 6 years is not the typical way Nigerians resolve issues. We have a short memory of hate. We fought bitter wars and we've reconciled we've reconciled very well. We've had very, very testy moments at constitutional conferences, crisis of political succession on June 12, whether the third term will work or not, whether there was an agenda to elongate President General Abacha or not. We had all gone through all that, but our memory of hate is very short. And that for me is the abiding philosophy and hate, the abiding philosophy that makes Nigeria a country that not many pundits, not many analysts living outside of Nigeria can understand.
He has inspired me ever since I met him. He's forgiving, he's loving, he's a teacher, he's an encourager, he's a counselor, he's a very good friend, in addition to being a husband and father. As he turns 50, I'm looking forward to more. I'm here for whatever he has in his future. I'm here to support, not just to go for the ride, but to be an encourager also, a helper, a friend.
I'm really very, very happy. And I pray Jehovah that this is beginning. Brighter future is coming more and more. More better things are coming.
That generation that was born in Nigeria for Nigeria, that generation has the responsibility to renew the idea of Nigeria, to reimagine the concept of Nigeria, to pay back what we got from Nigeria. I went to university without paying school fees. I was sponsored to foreign education in Singapore by the Nigerian state. I have become the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Commission. I have sat in the Federal Executive Council of Nigeria. And I think we have no other responsibility, we have no other choice but to go back and create the Nigeria of the future. I have nothing else to do in the second half of my life, crossing the 50 benchmark, than to help organize with others to renew the idea of Nigeria. I believe that those born in Nigeria for Nigeria, those post-Civil War children across all the ethnic groups in Nigeria need to come together. We need to shake hands. We need to remember the ties that bind us. We need to remember our times in the government colleges across Nigeria, our times in the university. We need to remember our times in the National Youth Service Corps when people were not afraid to go to the length and breadth of this country. We need to make that possible for our children. We need to come together to make our states work once again. But the whole idea today is that we, that generation, born after the war, the post-Civil War children, we have a responsibility to renew the idea of Nigeria. Born in Nigeria for Niger.